welcome to Stories Found. Each week we feature funny stories, plays, and sketches from some of the most talented comedy writers in the world. I'm your host, Ava Love Hanna, a writer and humorist in Austin, Texas. Joining me is my writing partner, audio engineer, and all-around cool guy, Paul Hanna. You're listening to Stories Found. Our featured organization this week is Open Air Circus, a nonprofit, community-based group that teaches circus and performing skills. They offer classes and performances every summer. To find out more about them and how you can help support their mission, visit them at openaircircus.org. Thanks for joining us for our very special Halloween edition of Stories Found. This week we're talking to one of our favorite playwrights, Brian Rust, and then hearing his dark comedy, Spam Calls from Hell. Brian is a Boston-based actor and writer who makes chocolates and searches for cryptids in his spare time. High points of his career include being killed by a pillow during the Robin Hood Faire, appearing on stage with Tigre as a member of the Art School Cheerleaders, and using a plunger and 10 pounds of jello to create an unforgettable foley effect in a live radio version of Chicken Heart. Brian's work is surreal, funny, and always smart, and we're excited to have him back on Stories Found just in time for Halloween. Hey, Brian, welcome back to Stories Found.
Oh, thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Well, we're really excited to have you here today talking about your play, Spam Calls from Hell. This is a fantastic script.
Oh, thank you very much. I've had a weird relationship with telephones my whole life, so...
You know what? It does seem like that. I feel like there's multiple scripts from you that mention phone calls. So this is definitely a trigger for you. So I read the script a few months ago when I was very non-creepily stalking you on NPX, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. It's a great premise. It's suspenseful and funny, and it's absurd in like the best possible way. Sort of, an ideal dark comedy. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what we're going to hear today?
All right. We're going to hear a series of phone calls that drive a couple who are very much in love possibly into madness.
That's true. And it's sort of, it gets dark and it's suspenseful, but it's still, it is still really funny, and it has this great ending, so, which we won't give away right here. But so I think what I love most about this play is you managed to capture that sort of banal modern horror we all feel about being forced to answer our phones, right? and it's become a scary thing for me. And you elevate it to this just funny and terrifying place. And we've talked about this before. I'm pretty obsessed with responding to spam texts I get, especially from like real estate companies. And Paul keeps trying to get me to turn all of those texts into a play. So did real life spam calls influence you with this play?
I have a confession here, which is that they weren't exactly spam calls, but I worked as a telesurveyor, or it was the only job I could get. But for about a year and a half, I was the unwanted caller.
You were the caller. People. I love that. Oh my God.
And I always felt I got in trouble because if people said the right things, I had a survey that was technically 30 minutes long.
Oh, my God.
And I disqualified 99% of the people who
you just couldn't do it
qualified. To them. I couldn't. It was a bridge too far. I had some morals left.
Oh, my God. I love that. I love that you were the scary guy in this scenario. So I really love your writing style. I have to say that. You have a way of crafting. Well, you're welcome. You have a way of crafting these absurd, hilarious pieces, and you've got magical realism, you've got science fiction, you've got horror, and it's like you took all of my favorite things and put them into a script, and then you do it again and again. So what or who are some of your influences? I know it's a terrible question, right? Everybody's like, I don't know, man. I've never had an influence in my life. Don't ask me. But if you can think of any.
Oh, sure. it was a rite of passage in
Hmm.
my part of Western Maine to read everything Stephen King put out because he was our
Yes.
neighbor down the
Hmm.
road.
Hmm.
So you had an entire class of fifth graders debating exactly what town Salem's Lot was based on. So that
Mm.
has to warp you.
Hmm.
And then I DC Comics and Marvel Comics
Of
had its
course.
renaissance just about the time I hit puberty.
Hmm.
So suddenly you had Alan Moore writing Swamp Thing and the Legion of Superheroes still dressed in their disco outfits, and
Oh, yeah.
they cost exactly the same and they were next to each other on the rack.
Hmm.
So there was some weird cross-pollination there in the fan fiction I wrote when I was 12, which no one will ever see.
Uh-huh.
And I may have been a member of the New England Tolkien Society and written some stories about being a hobbit too.
See, you know what? I feel like I can see all these influences in your work, and it's fantastic. It comes together in the best possible way. Everything I've read by you is so delightful and surprising, and yet, like, as you're reading it, you're going, "Oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. This really weird, terrible, like, bizarre thing happening, it just works. It, like, makes sense." Well, I think a key component of really great scripts is that they never feel too long or too short, and your work does that for me. Even though I've only read shorter works, they're really rich and they have this conciseness of language, which is an amazing skill. So, do you primarily write shorter works, or are you working on longer scripts?
I primarily write really short things. My challenge has
Good.
been to get them a longer. My
Mm-hmm.
first training as a writer was classes on writing for sketch comedy.
Ah,
And
perfect. Mm-hmm.
with those, it was about anything longer than 3 to 5 minutes was just
It's too long, yeah.
it's too long. You have to keep the audience their pulse has to keep going.
Right. Yeah. And, yeah. I tell everyone this. I had trained as a poet, so really, it's about getting rid of words, and I can see that for you. Every word that you use matters in these scripts, and there I will walk away, and I will be left thinking about you create these dynamic worlds and these really deep ideas. And it's just a few pages long, and I absolutely love it. And it doesn't feel too short. It doesn't feel too long. I think you've got great instincts when it comes to that. Well, I saw that you were just at the Edinburgh Fringe. What was that like?
It it is it is the most insane experience you can have without any pharmaceuticals.
It looks like it. It just the whole. I mean, I've been to Fringe festivals, but they're pretty contained. This looks like it is everywhere.
It
Everywhere
it
you are, there's Fringe.
it takes over the city. There are plays going on in airline hangars,
Oh,
and the botanical garden has a thing that an ice rink turned into a modern retelling of Midsummer Night's Dream.
oh wow.
It and you can meet someone with cat whiskers on their face under a bridge, feeling like a drug connection, and go to their show out of what feels like pity at first, and then an hour later, tears will be rolling down your cheeks, and you'll be singing along to a meow meow
Hmm.
meow version of "We Are the Champions," and you have no idea how you got to this weird place, but you've just been completely moved by one person in a cat outfit pretending she's three cats on a date. That
Oh,
it and yeah, everything about Edinburgh is like those stories of going so deep into the forest, you don't know how you got to where you are.
that is amazing. I think the thing with Fringe is you either really love it or you really hate it. And I go back and forth. Sometimes it depends on which festival I'm at, but I think Fringe is just an amazing opportunity to just see how cool and bizarre and weird everyone around us is. It's like the
Oh,
best of humanity. So,
That's
what
that's
was
a great way to put it. Yeah.
what was one of your favorite Fringe events this year? Was it the cat one or which one?
Well, the cat one was definitely good. There
Mm-hmm.
was there were these two Finnish clowns
Mm-hmm.
who did a two-person version of Don Quixote,
Oh my god.
which, I mean, just that by itself would have been good, but then it turned into a larger story of what Cervantes was really doing, writing political stuff, but hiding it from the Inquisition at the time. So there was that layer. And one of the character playing Don Quixote had a great deal of stage fright and needed to be pushed past that, which led to some nudity and audience members being given tomatoes to throw at him.
Oh, it's just like, it's the best and worst of theater, all in one thing. What an amazing experience.
Just shrunk down into like 5 or 10 minute experiences. Yeah.
It's, I think Fringe is so important, yeah, because it's not always professional performers, but it is. It's just when I get stuck for ideas, I can always go to a Fringe festival and be like, oh, wow, exactly. Okay.
It's like those, to do a comic book metaphor, it's like those crossovers where you see Superman from 18 different universes, and there's like the hippie Superman and the Superman who's a crab, and that's what it's like. This is what theater groups are in completely different universes. Yes. And they all come together and perform for each other.
Oh, that is the perfect way to describe it, because that's what it is. Well, so you were our featured Christmas play last year with a play I absolutely adored. And this year we've moved you up to Halloween. So I assume next season we're going to be looking forward to some sort of bizarre, like, 4th of July or Valentine's play. So that's where we're crossing our fingers. We're like, maybe he can give us some dark for a different holiday. All right. So final and most important question here. So Brian, are you aware that we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty? That's the best one I can come up with.
I've been dodging the calls. The telegrams were creepy. The singing telegrams were extremely creepy, but well done.
It was me, yeah, all along. So I'm the spam calls. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, Brian. It was a pleasure as always, and you are welcome back here anytime. We're looking forward to your next show.
Thank you very much. You've inspired me. More than I can say, just in a larger sense with this, and now I'm thinking about Labor Day and the 4th of July.
Or even give us a good Arbor Day, you know?
Ooh.
We know you love Stories Found, but have you ever sat and wondered, wow, how can I let other people know just how much I love Stories Found? Well, fortunately, we're here to help. Head over to storiesfound.com/support. We've got a list of fun, free, or even paid ways to show your support and to help us keep paying our amazingly talented writers and actors. Soon, the whole world will know just how much you love comedy and supporting the arts. Head over to storiesfound.com/support. Stories Found is now proud to present Spam Calls from Hell by Brian Rust.
It might be the
new job. I know.
Hello?
You may already be eligible for an extension on your warranty. Press 1 to find out more. Press 2 to be placed on...
that same stupid one again.
The silent one? The Chinese one? Or the one that starts halfway through the recording?
And the last one. I hate to say it, but I miss the days when I actually knew what they were selling.
Masochist. Be right back.
About your warranty. Press 1 to find out more. Press 2 to be placed on our do not call list. Press 4 to hear a message from yourself from 2 days in the future. Press.
Wait, what was that last one?
Were you talking to me, hon?
Yeah, no, it was another spam call, but this time it said something weird, like...
Press 4 to hear a message from 2 days in the future. Press 5 to hear tonight's movie times at the Chestnut Hill Theater.
Dave, there's a loose floorboard in the bathroom closet. There's a trapdoor under it. For the love of God, do not go down there. Don't go near it. Don't let...
What the hell?
That's not what I was expecting.
Who even was that?
Well, that's That's the weirdest part. It sounded like you, hon.
What? No, I don't sound like that. Do I? Am I really that nasally?
I mean, I could just go check.
But this makes no sense. Why tell us about... It's like that mind game where you tell people not to picture a pink elephant, right?
Oh, wow.
Please press 1 to listen to our menu again. Press 2 to listen to wind blowing across a cactus. Press 3 to listen to kittens. Fluffy, fluffy kittens. Press 5 to listen to a message from 3.6 days in the future. Press 8 to...
Dave! Hey, Dave Areno! Hey, you're gonna get some weird phone calls, and they're just spam, okay? They're just folks messing with you, so don't pick up, right? Don't listen to any of them. Just stupid spam. Just ignore the phone for a couple... Wait, what day is it? Oh shit, it's too late.
Hello? Hello? Hun? What's up?
Your weird psychic phone message? There is a trap door, but it's locked or wedged or something.
Whoa. Whoa, hold on. Someone is messing with us. All right, let's think this through. Okay. Hey, remember your cousin, Robbie, who got so mad after we posted that video of him dancing on TikTok? This is probably him getting revenge, right? Don't you think? Honey? Robbie, you son of a
Press
bitch,
8
we know
for
it's
the sound
you.
of an orca attacking a seal. Press 9 for a forgotten nightmare you had as a child, told in iambic pentameter. For a simple solution to your current problem, press 8313-759-2600421. Press 3 to listen to a message from 4 days in the future.
Dave, this is extremely important. Check the time. Right now. If it's before 2 o'clock, you've got to stop Ruby. Tackle her. Shoot her. Set fire to the place. Anything. Just keep her from going down there. If it's after 2, I'm sorry, man. She's gone. You'll see something with her face, but that's not Ruby anymore.
Hun, is that another call?
I'm so sorry. I should have been faster. I should never have... I fucked up. I fucked up. I'm so sorry.
Hun?
You've just heard Spam Calls from Hell by Brian Rust. It was performed for you today by Joe Lorenz as Dave and Tony Knight as Ruby. We'll have more information about our amazing actors, as well as where you can find more of Brian's work. You can find all of that on our website, storiesfound.com. Thanks for listening to Stories Found. We've been your hosts, Ava Love Hannah and Paul Hannah. Get more info about this week's episode, subscribe to our newsletter, or submit your own story and be a featured storyteller in a future episode. You can do all that and more on our website, storiesfound.com. Stories Found was recorded at ELA Studios deep in the heart of Austin, Texas.